Hello YouTube watcher. Welcome to this video series which reviews 45 pieces of fan mail written to convicted killer Chris Watts while at Weld County Jail awaiting sentencing. Today I've selected 2 letters which make up the granny portion of the series. They're going to share their life stories and say some stupid shit along the way. Here we go. Kelly from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Dear Chris, my name is Kelly. I'm 52 and live in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I'm not sure how you feel about getting mail from a stranger, but I felt compelled to write, and I hope you respond. I assure you, I have good intentions. Everyone needs a friend or two. I'll write about myself, and I hope to bring a smile to your face. Lots of people care about you and are pulling for you. I'm sure it doesn't feel like it at the moment, but please believe it's true. Now about me. First, I apologize for the horrible handwriting. I've always wished I had beautiful handwriting, but no matter how hard I try, it looks like chicken scratch. Maybe I'll print the next letter and you can let me know what's easier to read. I can also print from my computer, but that seems so impersonal. But I'd be happy to type it if you prefer. I'm a licensed optician. I've been in the business since 1989. I like helping people, but I'm an introvert, so I've always struggled to find balance. Being around people all day drains me. I like a lot of alone time to recharge. Also, about a year and a half ago, I found a hobby I love and helps ground me. I love to kayak. When I'm paddling on the water, it's so peaceful and it allows me to release a lot of stress. I always take my camera with me and capture some beautiful wildlife pictures. Shorebirds are my favorites in particular. I usually paddle Saturdays. I wish I had more free time, but I don't for now. In addition to kayaking, I love hiking, camping, do-it-yourself projects, and just hanging out at the beach. I've lived in 7 states. I was born in Ohio, and my dad was in the Navy. We lived in Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, and Virginia while growing up. When I married the second time, that husband was in the Navy too, so I lived in Wisconsin and New York with him. I then moved back to Virginia. My third husband was in the Navy as well, and we lived in Maryland. Then back to Virginia. We've been separated since 2009. He's an alcoholic. I have 3 kids. Lauren is 27 and has my only grandchild, a grandson named Ryan that's 2. My boys are Cade, 16, and Corey, 18, so I almost have an empty nest. When my 16-year-old graduates next year and goes off to college, I'm going to downsize. I don't want so many things in my life. I want to kayak and enjoy what time I have left on Earth. I'm a cancer survivor. I've been in remission 8 years. I'm always waiting for it to come back. I suffer from depression. I can remember being depressed in the 2nd grade. I tried almost every med out there, but nothing works. Well, therapy does help a little. I hope you have access to therapy. I also hope you have friends and family members that write to you. Everyone deserves to be loved and happy. The hardest part is loving ourselves and being happy just the way we are. Anyway, I worked 11 and a half hours today and I have to be back to work in 8 and a half hours, so I need to try to sleep. I hope you write back and tell me about yourself and how you're doing. I don't know what the rules are. Can I send pictures? Do you like to read? If so, what genres? Please write and tell me about yourself. I promise to write frequently. Keep your chin up. I'm praying for you. P.S. How do you get a tissue to dance? You put a little boogie in it. I know, lame joke. I'll try harder next time. Smile. Someone is thinking of you. Kelly.
A few things, Kelly. Wasn't your hope that in writing about yourself it would bring a smile to Chris's face? To be honest, this is some of the most depressing shit I've ever read. Also, I'm very concerned about what happened to those first two husbands, especially given your compulsion to write to Chris. Last, as much as I'm sure Chris is dying for a picture of a depressed, thrice-married 52-year-old woman, maybe save the stamp. Dorothy, from Tucson, Arizona.
Dear Chris, it has been 2 weeks since the demise of your beautiful family. I have watched the video Shanann put on the internet defining your love for each other and your sweet Bella and Cece. Your families and friends are not the only people who feel such incredible sadness. I can't get the loss out of my mind. Many are suffering far more than me. It is difficult to believe this could ever have happened. I want to believe you too feel lost, lonely, and have regrets. Chris, there is no way you can change what you did. However, I encourage you to take full responsibility since you confessed to your family. If you can ask your families for forgiveness, it would be a step forward. I am certain you do not even understand what your thinking was. I've read about personality defects such as sociopath and psychopath. It's difficult for even professionals to diagnose. I'm not saying they were the cause. A family member has borderline personality disorder, which affects her moods and logical decision making. In all disorders, there's a question if the cause is environmental or genetic. Whatever your counselor or doctor thinks could have caused you to act in rage, please try to read as much as you can on it. Becoming informed will help you understand your actions. I think Shanann said she was obsessive-compulsive. I am too, but less as I get older. Chris, there has been some discussion that you had turmoil over your sexual orientation. I don't know if that's true. As a nurse for 40 years, I have been exposed to people with mental illness, drug and alcohol abuse, transgender people, gays, lesbians, and more. Fortunately, society is becoming more and more understanding of all humans, but we have a long way to go. I know the turmoil the LGBT people live with. Years ago, I invited a young doctor to our house for dinner. I told him he could bring his girlfriend, or any friend. He pretended he had a girlfriend, but she was out of town. And then the day before the dinner, he sought me out. His face was pale, he was nervous, but he wanted me to know he was gay and he would bring his boyfriend. He had never told anyone. I was the first. He was in his 30s. My prayer has always been that he can meet a life partner. I'm sorry if you never felt strong enough to share your questions about yourself. I do think a different and better decision could have been made. Even if you and Shanann separated, your family could have continued, just not under the same roof. I have friends who married, had children, and then realized they loved someone of the same sex. It can continue with love, but under a different roof. If this is an issue, I hope you can find someone to confide in. As a mother, I am sure your mother would still love you for you. Chris, I encourage you to keep a journal. Write your thoughts and feelings. Even if your girls are gone, I am sure you'll find moments you want to share your feelings with them. As sad as the event was, in my heart, I believe Shanann, Bella, and Cece have forgiven you. I lost my husband, a geologist, 10 years ago to colon cancer. I miss him terribly. Like Shanann, he loved life and was very positive. He was the soul of our family. He wanted to leave this earth with a clear mind, and he did. My family moved to Berthold, Colorado in 1983. Our 2 children finished high school and college there. My husband loved his exploration work in the Colorado mountains. He loved his work so much, he felt guilty being paid having fun. My son is an engineer and still loves it. He'll be 50 at his next birthday and keeps very active. Mountain climbing, snowboarding, has done helicopter skiing, plays league ice hockey, baseball, football, volleyball year-round. My daughter lives in Tucson and visits occasionally. She has many health problems. I myself just turned 72. Life goes fast. I retired in 2011 and was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2012. I'm in my 7th year of remission. I feel blessed. 3 years ago, I bought a home in the desert. I love nature and having visits from quail, bunnies, reptiles, coyotes, and wild pigs. Chris, for 3 years since moving here, I love feeding the birds. I also search for bird feathers every day. One day I discovered a tiny feather with a tiny heart on it. I've never found another one. I really felt my husband had flown down from heaven and put it so I could find it. I gave it to my daughter in a pendant. Last week, days after hearing of the loss of Shanann, Cece, and Bella, I found a pure white feather. It was the first I'd ever found. The next day, I found 2 more, and that reminded me of Cece's short pigtails. So cute. It was like a spiritual experience. I smile at them, and they tell me Shanann, Bella, and Cece flew over my house en route to heaven. They each dropped an angel wing feather. I treasure them. I want to send them to you. I hope you will feel their souls in them and can keep them close to you. I have not found any more white feathers since. Oh, I discovered online that your Dieter is living with Frankie. Frankie posted pictures on Facebook. Also, Frankie posted how angry he is about losing his family. He also wrote for people not to be disrespectful to your family. He said they are hurting too, and they are family. Chris, I have no idea if you can receive this letter. If you do get it and want to just talk, I'll be happy to send you some encouragement. I know you have difficult days ahead, but keep your faith. My faith, and believing I'll see my loved ones again, keeps me going. As Shanann once said, no one is promised tomorrow. I have to keep that in mind. Sincerely, Dorothy.
Wow, Dorothy. That is just about the most tone-deaf comment I have ever heard. To quote a dead woman's words of not being promised tomorrow to the man who ensured she would never see it. Dorothy also shares that she thinks Chris could have made a different and better decision. Well, shit, Dorothy. I think the watchers would agree. That is the understatement of the year. I'm going to end it here for today. Leave your thoughts below. What made you cringe? Be sure to like and subscribe and join me next time for readings of letters by a few fanboys. After all, bad judgment isn't limited to a specific gender.